You probably don't have a routine, which means you don't have structure in your day, you get less work done, and you're more distracted. For me, I used to hate routines back then. I think it was mostly because of school, but I also just liked doing whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. But as I changed as a person, I realized that routines are really important when it comes to achieving what you want in your life. The biggest point I took away from routines is that I need to find a routine that fits for me, not someone else's. Because we're all different and we tend to have different activities that fit for us at different times. When you don't have a routine, you're constantly thinking about what you need to do next, which will lead to you wasting energy, which could be used for when you're working. Think of it like this. You are constantly thinking about what you need to do next. Like, what do I dress up today? How do I dress up today? What do I want to eat? What do I do after school? What TV show do I watch? All that thinking, all that processing in your brain takes up just a little bit of energy. But over time, that little bit of energy every day turns into this much energy every week. And all of that energy could be used to when you are working. This is why I like having more structure to my routine and being more specific. Some of you may already have a routine, but it wasn't created by you. It was created by school or work. Let's take high school for example. High school has a whole timetable which includes 4 periods which happen at the same time for the same amount of time. All of this is taken and used every single day of the week, except weekends. So when you first enter high school, you're probably thinking about where you need to go, what classes you have, where's the fastest way. But as you progress through the school year, it just becomes automated. You don't think about where you need to go. It's just all habit now. That is how I believe routine should be. You should be leaving the thinking to when you are actually working instead of the unimportant stuff. Imagine how chaotic it would be if your school didn't have a schedule. That is how your day is. Now that I talked about why you need a routine, let's talk about how to make a routine. It is important to note that you need to make a routine that works for you. Making the routine that is optimized for your performance will increase efficiency and enjoyment. For all routines, you need to find a goal. Then you want to find habits that you want to include in your day that help achieve those goals. Habits that are generally used to achieve your goals include these: a 60 to 90 minute learning block. This is reading, watching videos, listening to podcasts, or any other methods that will help you gain knowledge. A 60 to 90 minute work block. This is when you use the knowledge that you've gained in your learning block and use it to build projects that will help you achieve your goals. Recovery habits. These are habits that are going to help you prepare for the next time you work so that you can perform efficiently. These activities include cold showers, hot baths, meditating, exercising, and sleeping. Finally, you want habits that will promote creativity. These are activities that are going to let your mind wander and help generate ideas for your goals. Habits that I believe promote creativity include walking, journaling, and sitting down with your thoughts and just letting your mind think. When you're doing these habits, question yourself and find answers by talking to yourself instead of looking online. Reminder that you don't need to keep all of these in your routine. These are just some general habits that I believe will help you achieve your goals. Now, here are some things to remember when you are writing and creating your routine. First, you can be as specific as you want to be. For me, generally I like to be on more of the specific side just because I like to leave the questioning to when I'm working. But you can be as specific as you want. Next, an important thing to note is that you should alter and experiment with your routine. Try new things or arrange them in a different way to see what works best for you. For me, beforehand, I used to do my work blocks after my morning routine, but through experiment, I discovered that working just after I wake up is probably the best way to work for me, and maybe even you if you try it. Now, generally you have a routine, but more specifically, you should have a morning routine and a night routine. For your morning routine, you can do whatever task you want, but if I would have to suggest anything, I would put your work blocks right after you wake up. This is just because you have less distractions in your life and you are more likely to experience flow state. And for nightly routines, I would suggest putting activities that are going to help you wind down. These activities include journaling, reading, and walking. Additionally, an important thing to note is that environment matters. So, turn off the lights that you aren't using, dim the lights that you are using, and start doing activities that aren't as stimulating. If you are unable to work in the morning, that is totally okay. Just work in the evening, but make sure to stop working at least 1 hour before you go to bed. I worked in the evening from 4:30 to 8 on school days, but during non-school days, I like to work in the morning from at least 5:30 to 10 or 11, depending on how much I want to work. Your routine won't always be perfect every day. Sometimes you get distracted with social media, or sometimes life just gets in the way. Just know that you're a beginner and it will always never be perfect. So focus on doing at least most of the tasks, or even just one. Because if you really think about it, before you were doing all of this, you weren't doing any of these activities that you were listed in your routine. So technically, you're getting better every day. But if I had to suggest anything, I would just do the activities for at least 2 minutes. This is such a short time, and I believe anyone can do it for at least 2 minutes. You might think that that's a very short amount of time, and you probably don't get any work done, but it helps build that habit of just showing up to the activities that you do in your routine, which helps build consistency, and also helps build good habits. Right now, these routines work for me, but they may alter in the future. Now, don't just copy everything that I do word for word in my routine. This routine works for me, but it may not work for you. Try little snippets of my routine and see if they work for you. I have one routine for school days and one routine for non-school days. Generally, it is school days, unfortunately, but I have to make do with what I'm given. First, to start my day, at 5:30 in the morning, I get up and I immediately get into working. On non-school days, I do a 60-minute work block, which includes anything that I want to do, but it mainly involves working on my projects. I do this in the morning because my flow proneness is at its highest in the morning. Flow proneness is your likelihood to experience flow state. Flow state is when you're just so dialed into the work, everything goes by super fast. You're so focused that you get your most productive work in, and you worked really efficiently during this time. If you ever had this feeling, you probably don't remember it, and probably started at 5:30, let's say, and it's now 6:30, and you're like, whoa, I worked that long? That's flow state. The reason why your likelihood to experience flow state is at its highest in the morning, because you have nothing, your mind is just like a clean sheet. You've been sleeping, you get up, and now you don't have as much distractions in your head as the night before, or any thoughts as what you might have had the night before too. So, not having those helps you focus more on your work and keeps you less distracted, because nothing has distracted you yet. Think of it like when you first boot up a computer, but nothing's loaded onto it. So it performs at its highest, right? Because there's no RAM being used and the CPU is at its minimum processing. And the second point is your brain waves are closest to flow. Your brain waves during sleep are very similar to your brain waves during flow. So it's almost just like smoothly transitioning into the flow state right after you wake up. Now that I've explained this to you, please try it. There's no harm in trying it. Do it tomorrow. I don't care how early or late you wake up. Just do it at least 5 minutes after waking up. Then get into something that you want to do. This could be watching a video. This could be working on your homework. This can be literally anything. Just don't go on your phone. Just don't go on your phone, please. Second, after my 60-minute work block, I get into a cold minute shower immediately after working. This is because I want to connect what I've learned from that work block with emotion by increasing my adrenaline. When I increase my adrenaline, I fuse it with emotion, which helps stick to my brain. I think I got this from Andrew Huberman, and I think it really helps me. So if you're interested, please try it. This doesn't have to be cold showers. This can be literally anything that increases your adrenaline. You can do exercise like running. I don't know if weightlifting really increases adrenaline, but stuff that just gets your heart rate up, so probably cardiovascular exercise. And saunas, if you have a sauna. I don't have a sauna, so I can't do that, but just anything that increases your adrenaline. Then after my cold shower, I do all my hygiene, and then I get into my journaling, my morning journaling. My morning journaling consists of gratitude journaling and goal stating. I just write down my goals. First, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. This can be from yesterday or today, just anything that I'm grateful for. I write that down. Then after that, I write down all my goals that are like future goals. It just helps remind me of what I'm striving for, and it also just like helps me put that into my subconscious mind so that it can translate it into its physical equivalent. Next, after journaling, I get into a 13-minute meditation. I learned about this 13 meditation through the podcast with Andrew Huberman and Wendy Suzuki. Basically, she stated that there are many benefits to doing a 13-minute meditation, and you'll see these benefits around 8 weeks after doing it consistently every day. The benefits are increased cognitive performance, reduce overall stress, increase mood, and increase focus. All of these I really want in my life. If you want to know how this meditation process works, here's how to do it. First, turn off all your lights. Next, set a timer for 13 minutes. Third, sit or lay down on a surface, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. You can breathe in through your nose, you can breathe in through your mouth, or you can do a combination of both. It doesn't matter. You just need to focus on your breathing. An important thing to note is that you will lose your focus. Even for me, I've been doing this for around 3 months, and I still lose focus. Like, even just today, I was struggling with focusing on my breath. The good thing about that is that focus is a skill that can be improved with practice. So whenever you bring that attention back to your breath, you're helping that skill improve itself over time. After the meditation, it'll be around 8:15, depending on how busy I am or how much time I take in the shower. After that, I read for about 15 minutes. I try and read at least 5 pages in the morning and 5 pages at night, but sometimes life just gets in the way. Alright, so this is a book that I'm reading right now for my reading block, I guess. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Basically, it's about 350 pages. As you can see, I have a lot of notes on this. I've been reading this book for about three times, and I'm just trying to really fully understand it and try and take in as much information as I can. It's possible that it might be a future video, but who knows. Alright, so next thing that I do is I pack my bag, I eat breakfast, and then I go outside. I go outside for just one reason and one reason only, and that is to get my daily sunlight. Sunlight is not only important for your sleep schedule, it is also very important for your health. Not only will it increase mood, it will also improve how well you sleep. During this time when I am getting my daily sunlight in, I like to play with my dog outside. It will usually be for about 10 minutes, depending on how much time I have before I go to school. Next, after my morning sunlight, I go to school. School will be until 2:45, and I get home around 3:15. Now, at 3:15, I will walk my dog for about 20 minutes. I started implementing walking not too long ago, and I have gotten a lot of benefits from it. Not only does it help me produce more creative ideas for my personal brand, it also helps me solve questions that I have for myself. It also helps me structure my evening and what I want to do during my 2 work blocks. I will walk without my phone, actually sometimes with my phone depending on what I want to film for B-roll. I don't use my AirPods, I like just to listen to what's going on around me, and I walk no matter the weather. Like today, has been pouring all day, and I still went on a walk with my dog, and I still got my thoughts in. When you are doing this walking activity, try and talk to yourself. I know it sounds weird, but this really helps me. I talk to myself, I ask myself questions, I talk to myself to find those answers, and I also come up with ideas. So, for an example, I was struggling to come up with my topic for my newsletter. So, I went on a 20-minute walk. I asked myself, okay, what do I want to talk about during my newsletter? I asked myself problems that I have in the past, what I'm doing right now, and eventually I did come up with the topic, which was memory. I usually have around 30 minutes before I start my work block, so I like just to fill up my water bottle, get everything ready so I don't have to get up. I just want to sit down and do my work. So I just prepare myself for the things I'm going to do. Now it's 4:30. I'm getting into my first 90-minute work block. I will do whatever I discussed in my walk that I wanted to do that day. But it will mainly be centered around what I wrote in my FOCI planner by Dan Go. It includes 3 priority tasks, and I mainly focus on those 3 priority tasks in my work block. Usually I work on projects such as my YouTube channel, my Twitter account, my newsletters, but sometimes it involves schoolwork too. Like this week I had a group presentation, so I practiced my group presentation during my work blocks. Yes, I was not getting as much work for my personal brand, but I still got some work in, which is what I count as a win. After my 90-minute work block, I take a 30-minute break. This 30-minute break will not be going on social media, scrolling on social media, or anything that is high stimulant for my brain. This is because I'm still going to work after this 30-minute block. It's more of just a buffer to let my brain just relax and take the time it needs to recover. During this 30-minute block, I go upstairs, talk to my family, play with my dog, just whatever I want to do that isn't going on my phone. Now, onto my second work block. It will either be a continuation of what I'm working on from the first work block, or it will be something completely different. It is now 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, 8:15, depending on how much I want to spill over into my next activity. The next activity that I do is I study Japanese for around 30 to 15 minutes. I do Duolingo, some kanji practice, and practicing my katakana. It is one of my main goals is to learn Japanese. After my Japanese study session, I do my nightly journaling. Oh, I forgot to mention. After dinner, I wear these. They're blue light glasses. I just like wearing blue light glasses because it just reflects the blue light, which you shouldn't be getting later in the day because that just messes up your sleep. I got these off of Amazon. They're, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just read it. They're failed glasses. They come in 2 pairs, white and black. I don't know which one I look better in. Doesn't matter. I just wear them. And they're around $20. So pretty good deal. They do reflect the screen. Like you can probably see the screen right now. But it's not like I'm using them when I'm recording anyways. I recommend using these for your evening routine, or like if you're working in the evening. Really important for your sleep, and sleep is very crucial to me, and it should be for you. My nightly journaling consists of how I did that day and what I want to do tomorrow. I talk about how I did that day because I want to find positive things that I did that day that I can celebrate on, and some constructive thinking that I can do in order to improve what I can do tomorrow. But I will also analyze what I did wrong that day. And then I write down what I want to do the next day. My belief is that planning the next day will not only help you get rid of the clutter the next day, like asking questions, whatever. I also just think setting small goals for yourself helps you achieve those big ones, and also motivates you to get